There's a lot of times when I play it back in my head and I'm like, was that just a movie or did that really happen? But it all really happened to us, and she's not here anymore. This is a true story about how I lost my mother to cancer only a year and a half ago. So warning, this story is pretty sad and depressing. So if you know anyone who has cancer, or if you have cancer and just not about listening to it, I totally understand. You can click out now. I've literally avoided hospitals and cancer movies and everything for the past year and a half, and it's still not getting any easier. This is my mother's story. She was born in Chi-Town in 1962, where she repped the Bulls. She always ordered deep dish pizzas and Chicago dogs, and of course complained about them because nobody made them like Chicago. She was also one of 6 siblings, all girls, so I have plenty of aunts that sound and look just like her. It's a little strange sometimes. She also lived in Puerto Rico for a little while, where she met my dad, who had gone straight from Hong Kong to Puerto Rico for a waiting job and actually took another guy's spot. So for a little while my mom thought his name was Kenny. Fun fact, they named my oldest brother Kenneth and we call him Kenny. So weird. I don't know if that's a fun fact, that's just a weird fact. And long love story short, it wasn't a love story, they ended up divorcing. Anyways, they moved to Miami. They had 5 beautiful kids, including this one. My mother found love again online when she met my stepdad, who also lived in Orlando, and he had 2 children, and they morphed our families together. Basically, we morphed together how step families do morph together sometimes, and it was kind of like this. After marrying my stepdad, my mother bought her dream beach house in Tampa, straight on the water. She had her little vintage Mercedes, and she was living the life. One of the hardest and best things about this whole thing was that my mother was able to get her dream house before she passed, and she passed in her dream house. In her house that was on the water, had birds and crabs and sand around it, and she decorated it with more shells and mermaids everywhere, because that was her favorite thing. So if you guys ever see mermaids or shells in my life, it's because of her. It's a representation of her. So tattoo coming soon, logos coming soon, just kidding. So my mother got diagnosed at age 52 in 2015 with colon cancer that had already gone into her liver and was in stage 4. So yeah. Imagine the worst thing happening to the best person in your life, and that's exactly what happened to our family. Our mother was our everything. She was the rock to our family. Our family has since dispersed and no longer talks, and it's sad, but she was the rock. She was our everything. She was my everything. I literally relied on her way too much, and I feel that every day now. My mother was my cheerleader, my mentor, my idol, my therapist, my relationship advice. She was everything. She was who I got my character from and my strength from, and now I don't have that, so that's not me anymore. Who am I? It's like I'm on this new journey to find who I am and what my personality really is, because I've changed so much since she's been gone. I've gone through a lot of hurt since she's been gone. So many times. Or you just want to call her. Whatever. Okay. I'm getting off track. Right before my mother got diagnosed, I actually moved back home with her in the Tampa area, and I actually told her that I was pregnant. I cried for no reason, and she was like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "I don't want to disappoint you." And she said, "You could never disappoint me." And I cried more, of course. But then a few short weeks later, we found out that she was diagnosed with cancer. So my mother went through chemo for almost a year, and there was even a point where her doctors were telling her that things were getting better and that the cancer was gone. Why? I don't know. My parents didn't keep us very in the loop because they didn't want us to be in the loop, and I don't blame them. chemo made the strongest person in my family turn into the weakest person in my family. And for someone with her spirit, you could tell it was killing her. Like, chemo was killing her, not the fact of dying. She honestly, if she could go back, she wouldn't have done chemo. She would have gone to London and Tokyo and wherever else, because that's the type of person that she was. Chemo sucks. Long story short, the chemo didn't work. The cancer was already way too far gone, and when she got diagnosed, they gave her a 2-year fight. My mother did not make it to 2 years. So once her body started slowing down, we basically knew that the time was coming. We were able to get a couple of our family members, my grandfather and my aunt from Puerto Rico, some family from Immokalee, Florida, and even my aunt from New York and my aunt from Fort Lauderdale were able to visit and be there at the time. Oh, my grandma was there as well. My abuelita was there. I got the call one morning from my brother asking me when I was coming by that day to visit, because we were visiting every day at that point, and that my mother had passed and that I needed to come and say goodbye. So basically she passed away about an hour before I got to the house. And yeah, my sister and I basically laid in bed with her and cried. I'm so glad that my mother was able to be there for my labor. I remember she was cheering Kaden on. She was like, "Kaden, you can do it. Kaden, come on, Kaden, go, go." And I'm sitting there, my face red and pushing, and I'm just thinking, shut up, Mom, you're supposed to be cheering me on. But I'm still very happy that she was there for that moment. And she was there for his first couple months of life, where she was able to play with him and hold him, and she would feed him, she would stuff him with hash browns.
You're working so hard, look at you. So, you working so hard? Yeah, working for the hash brown.
You wonder why my boy is chunky? Because my mom stuffed him with McDonald's hash browns his first couple months of life. And we loved it. I'll do it again and again. We also got to visit Puerto Rico. It was basically my whole family's first time, and it was her first time in a very long time going to Puerto Rico, and we had an amazing time. We stayed in the Rio Grande area. We stayed at the Wyndham Hotel, and then we stayed at an Airbnb like townhome, also on the Wyndham like property. So we had like golf courses around us. We were right on the beach. We had a great time, and my mom did not want to come back here, and I don't blame her. I wish, honestly, I could have figured out a way for her to stay there for the last days of her life. I've been debating, thinking about filming this video for my past year that I've been on YouTube, and I haven't been consistent on YouTube. I'm so sorry. I'm apologizing to myself, because YouTube is where I want to be, and I've been focusing a little too much on Instagram, and I've gotten, you know, a little bit of fame on there. I've been invited to events, and I've made some great friends, so I'm loving it to like make friends and memories and things. But YouTube is where I want to be and where I want to find success, and I don't want to do that by creating, you know, clickbait or drama or anything like that. I'm just being real. The story is not made up. I'm not telling you guys a story because I want views. I'm telling you guys a story so that you guys connect with me a little bit better. So there's just a couple things I want you guys to take away from this video. One, you're not alone. Whether you have cancer, you know someone with cancer, you're just sick, you're depressed, you're just alone because you're just alone. You're not. I'm here. So talk to me. Let's be friends. I need some. Hey, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to say their name. It's gonna make you upset. It's gonna make you upset every time you speak about them, and it's not gonna get any easier, and it's okay to cry about it. Because you're accepting it. You're accepting it every day, and it's not easy. So some tears are gonna come with it. 2, get screened, get checked, go to the doctor. Don't be scared of the doctor. I've been scared for a year and a half, and now I'm going back and I'm scared. Are they gonna say good things? Are they gonna say bad things? I don't know, but not knowing is worse. So get screened and get checked. And 3, this is a huge part of my life. So I just let you guys in on one of the most important things that have happened to me. You're welcome. The thing that's holding me back, the thing that's pushing me forward, the thing that's always on my mind. I went to an event and they were talking about mental health, and they were like, where's your mental health at right now and why? Instantly, I cry. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. But my mental health is at like a 4 right now, to be honest. And that's a 4 like on a bad day, I can't lie. And a 7 on a good, like today. Today I had a really good day. I had a photographer reach out to me. She wants to collab, so we did a photo shoot this morning. And then we grabbed lunch at Chick-fil-A and the baby got to play. And then I just came back from a meeting with a business that I'm collaborating with for my new series that's starting in January. And we're gonna be doing something called Trusting Strangers. So just look out for that. It's got some big things coming. Everything that I do lately is for her or because of her. So if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be into YouTube. I wouldn't be into blogging or Instagram or any of that. I would still be in my small little bubble of just living in the moment, but being oblivious to everything. And not making my mark. Not doing something I'm passionate about, or I've been thinking about doing, or I've had, you know, that one thought and then you just never do it. But no, like, if you guys have lost anybody or know how we can help ourselves with our depression, please let me know in the comments. Again, I started my YouTube channel for her, so I think what I'm doing is great, and I think she'd be happy for me. But yeah, it's just a little piece of my life that has made the biggest impact of who I am and what I'm doing and how I speak and how I look and just everything. It affects everything these days, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about her and try not to cry. Anyways, I know she would want me to be happy and to not cry because it's not pretty and I don't want to get wrinkles, is what she would say. And on that note, I'm gonna say peace out with my mother's famous quote: "The world is your oyster, girl." Bye. 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 See you next time. Bye. 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 See you next time. It's been a long Monday. Because I've been going through a lot of shit this year. Like a lot of shit.